Cool. We're on there now. As far as my thing says.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just refresh the YouTube. We're on there now. Cool. Calm. Oh, Seb, while we're waiting for people to join, when we do the next Pogba watch.
Is he frozen?
I asked him about Pogba watch and he bottled it.
His internet has got to be the worst.
Yeah, ring light with no Wi-Fi.
It makes perfect sense though. He lives in East London, so
there we go.
That's it.
Okay. Give him a minute to, as people are joining, we'll also give him some time.
Mm-hmm. Can you see Hughes viewing? Oh, you can't.
Yeah. So on the YouTube. Oh, he's back.
Oh shit. Yeah, no. What I did is I switched the Wi-Fi in it. That's why it cut out.
Yeah, you look clearer now, brother.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just wait for people. We'll just wait for people to join still. Cool. But yeah, I was saying before you disappeared, because certain stocks are up. I said whenever you're ready to do the next episode of Pogba watching it.
Bro, whenever, man. Whenever.
I will do it tomorrow, big man.
Yeah, I'm on that. It will be like late afternoon, yeah?
Yeah, I'm about, man. I'm down with whatever, man.
Oh.
Down with whatever.
Hype, yeah. Man had 2 good performances in a row. Man's hype.
I'm eating good.
Free actually. Free solid performances.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Leipzig the end of the match. So I didn't watch that. I fell asleep. How I watched this? I don't even know what matches I watched of these, man. So far.
Hello, Nippon. Well, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, this is Touchline Fracas presents MUGA and Make United Great Again. So we are Manchester United fans here. You are welcome to stay. All appreciated, brother.
That's the kindest thing I've ever heard you say.
Really? Wow.
To be happier.
Jeez, I need to be nicer more often. All right.
Yeah, man said I need to make a conscious effort with a ring light and all of that shit, but
yeah, nah, you look good still.
Yeah, man had to, because I was in the dark for too long.
Oh, what, you need to keep
moving like Batman.
people to see you, yeah?
I was fully moving like Batman. You know what it is? It's literally just laziness, isn't it? Like, I got one of those, those bed tables. I got a ring light and I was like, all right, cool. I'm in the game now.
Yeah.
What's my sound like, innit? Because I've been thinking, because I literally have a mic, but I just don't connect it. Yeah.
Nah, you look good, man. You sound good.
But the sound, yeah. Okay.
Right, we told him you look good like 4 times in 4 minutes.
I said you sound like you're hating, Stevie.
Right, I'm just saying, if you want to send messages, do them directly, innit? I need to figure out how to do that.
Same, bro.
Keep it cute, yeah? Did you gents do predictions for league positions? We did a breakdown of all our games across the season. How many points did it end up being, Elijah?
It's like 74.
Yeah, I think 74. And then when it finished, everyone's like, "Rah, that's a bit high still."
Because we're on what? How many points in 11 games?
Is it 20? I think
20 points in 11 games.
What's people saying about Mino backtracking? What did he say?
Oh, he said that he didn't mean we'll
touch on it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Pussy, man. Of course you're backtracking.
Cool.
Yeah, because currently right now we're online for 69 points. So
Boy, we'll see.
But to be fair, we started the season shit in it with no
Yeah.
preseason, and we started that whack. So I think we'll definitely pick up some more points.
Agreed.
Because if we get that prediction right, that's gonna be scary still.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I think we'll get more than that. Actually,
Yeah.
I probably said we would get more than that at that time anyway. So
Confident brother. I think we should start and let people join. When you're ready, sir.
All right, cool. Hello and welcome to another episode of Make United Great Again. Joined by my lovely cast. I'm joined by Stevie. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. What you saying? Where's your camera?
Huh? Not
Where's your
today,
camera?
bro. Not today, bro.
But
What are you waiting for?
Man said her like he asked him some question in the next language.
Hey, not today, bro. It's 9 a.m. That's why it's there. That's what I'm gonna say there.
oh god,
Sebi, how are you doing?
come on, man. You know the Undertaker at WrestleMania has to come back, man. It's been a long time since I've been on the pod, but we back, baby. Yeah.
that laugh at the end, is that part of your new tagline?
Come on, man.
And Mariah, how you doing?
Hello, brother. Hello, brothers. I didn't have any intentions of coming on, but I was on a Discord with Sebi on Saturday, and he gave me a preview of the shit that he was going to be talking. So I had to rearrange my evening just to make sure he didn't run rampant, really.
You know what? I'm really glad, and I can see that he's on his Elo, so he's definitely going to be on some bullshit today, bro. But yeah, as usual, we'll go through the usuals as we do at the start of every pod, and I'm going to be much happier when I do it this time. So yeah, obviously we have our Patreon. On the Saturday we had two pieces. We had my little review about the Leipzig game, and we had the preview for the Man City game, and we'll discuss how we did against that. We have our Discord. It would have been popping this weekend because every one of us dropped points. So the blood of our enemies were all over the floor. So if you want to join in, then you better get on the Discord. And last we got our YouTube. So obviously we're live now. This will go up tomorrow. So bro, I already know, but bro, anyway, let's get it started.
Mariah, I think we need feedback on that. Where did that hit on the enthusiasm-ometer from the guy? 2 weeks ago.
Solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. Lovely.
Yeah, some work to be done, but better than previous weeks.
I like that still. I like that. But obviously, we'll have to go into things that we like a lot less than we're out the Champions League, boys.
You sounded more enthusiastic about that than the Discord.
Wow, boys.
What a start. That's not where I thought you were going to start, brother.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were going to warm up to that. Okay, we're going in, yeah?
Because I've had to sit there the whole day, and I watched that draw, and I watched the Champions League draw, and I just realized there are 32 teams in the knockout stages of a tournament. What's the point? Do you know what? But anyway, the reason why we're in a tournament where there's 32 teams in the knockout stages is because we lost versus Leipzig 3-2. We needed 1 point from our last two games, and we managed to get none. I'm going to come to you, Sebi, because those first 15 minutes were some of the most confusing minutes I've had as a United fan in a while. So I want you to make sense of it.
For me, when I look at the Leipzig game, I just look at the fact that we're not coached well. So it's similar to Sevilla in the Europa League, where Sevilla had Reguilon and RB had Angelino, and they pushed them high and wide. Yeah, so regardless of formation, they push those fullbacks high and wide, and they always overloaded on which side they switch the ball. So they switch the ball really, really fast, really direct, and then overload on that side. For me, you know, I look at that and I think, okay, you have to practice for this, number one, and number two, you have to have some in-game management. So if you see the way how the game starts, cool, like 1-0, yeah, cool, like 1-0, you can't really defend that. You have to make changes immediately, because I look at like RB and they like press in spurts, and they attack in spurts. And for me, I feel like even within the first 20 minutes, I feel like Ollie just left it too long. Looking at the first 20 minutes is just reminiscent of a side that don't practice the 3-4, the 3-5-2, or whatever formation we play. We don't practice that. We literally just vibe that. And RB were able to expose Wan-Bissaka. And I feel like it's difficult because I know people would call for new fullbacks, and I know Wan-Bissaka has been sleeping on the back post a few times, but for him, he's an out-and-out defender. So I feel like him playing right wing back and him being a good right back doesn't mean it's going to translate to a good right wing back, because I feel like because they overloaded so they overloaded wide and they overloaded through the center, they had options. So he, in his head, he's like, all right, cool, I'm trying to stop the goal. Yeah, so I want to be as central as possible, and there's guys running on, but then there's also somebody on the right. And that's kind of reminiscent of like the coaching. And even like when I look at the team, we can't even practice that in the training ground, because there's nobody that can do what RB done. There's like, you know, when you do 11-11 in a training ground, we haven't got an 11 that can do what RB done for the first 20 minutes. So there's just no way we can kind of practice that. And I just feel like Wan-Bissaka was just exposed because of poor coaching. And it's just like, again, as I said, you can be a good right back, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a good right wing back, because with that, there's so many things that you have. There's more things that you have to think about, and then also your position as a right wing back is kind of different. He was kind of tucked in like a right back, and I feel like with that you need to be coached, yeah. And if you're not coached, yeah, there's no way you can learn that. I think as football fans, we're in this phase of, because there's super sick players at a very young age, we're literally skipping all the coaching things, and because we've been so shit, we're just like, we haven't got the patience. But I'm like, what? Wan-Bissaka is 21. He needs to be coached to do these things well, yeah. And I know on the ball he's not the best or whatever, but just positioning, those little things can be coached into him. And I feel like we're just lacking patience. And I feel like the RB game, especially the first 20-25 minutes, were just reminiscent of the fact that Ollie's just been vibing the whole thing.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it, where we went to 3 at the back. Not only do we go to 3 at the back, we had McTominay and Matic in front of them. And we had Bruno, Greenwood and Rashford. And in my little review I commented on the fact that the problem with that formation was that Rashford and Greenwood were being pulled into wide positions, but they were supposed to be the strikers. So they were leaving space, and then it left Tellez and Wan-Bissaka quite exposed. And for the first goal, you see that Sabitzer gets into that space, he crosses it, and at the back post is Angelina. Just in general, do you think the first 20 minutes were poor from United, or just were we just battered by Leipzig like we done to them, Mariah?
A combination of both. I think the way we decided to start was way too negative. And
I don't know what terrible things you've done in your life up to this point.
Did you not hear that?
But clearly your comments are...
Mariah.
We're back in the mixer. So
this guy's a mess. This guy's a mess.
Oh, shut up. So I think it's a combination of both, to be honest with you. So I think it's a combination of both, to be honest with you. So we started too negatively, and usually when we play that back 3, it's very much a reactive formation where we're waiting for our players to pounce on the opposition making mistakes. In Leipzig's execution, it was good. They pounced on the errors we made and the spaces we made. The thing about Wan-Bissaka, yeah, and his positioning, I think it's unforgivable at this point because he tucks in way too much. He does exactly what we criticize Shaw about doing on the left-hand side of the defense, and it leads to the same result. They tuck in so narrowly that they're right up the side on either side, respectively, Lindelof and Maguire. And what it means is that on the far sides, we've always got an issue at the back post. That's how Angelino got his first goal. The space that he was able to have to cross it to Haidara for the second goal is again Wan-Bissaka being tucked in too much. And I don't think that's an issue of him being a right wing back. That's Wan-Bissaka himself. He's Mr. Recovery pace. So I think he loves being in positions where he needs to use his recovery pace to get back and make last-ditch challenges. But when you ask him to fundamentally hold a good position and a good line and keep good shape, it's not something that he does naturally. They did well. Like Sebi said, they do press in spurts. They took advantage of the spaces that we afforded to them. But even going up the other end, Greenwood got himself in a very good position. Didn't necessarily finish it as well as you would normally think he should. He also had the option to pass it across to Rashford, which he didn't take. So I think that game was really a loss of our own doing, in all honesty. I put that solely at the blame of Ollie in terms of how he approached the game initially, and then the individual actions of some players once they were on the pitch.
All right. Stevie, really and truly, we need to give a whole segment to that third goal because just take it away, Stevie. I actually don't know what else to say.
Yeah, before that, can I just ensure that we're bringing attention to all the comments that are coming through on the live stream? Not all of them are being publicized. So there's some saying Stevie has Mariah on the ropes. Some saying, I don't think this Mariah guy knows much about football. Stevie's on the pod and in the comments, I'm in Mariah. So, I just want to make sure we've just...
That's you loser. Man is promoting his own comments, man. Give us our analysis. Eat your egg and go, man.
I'm dead.
But no, that third goal was chaotic, catastrophic. It's just symptomatic of our defense and how we've been defending all season. To be honest, I don't even know who's more at fault to blame for that goal. Maguire, I don't know what's running through his head.
I mean, it's quite obvious who's more to blame, to be honest with you. It's quite obviously Maguire.
I think you had your chance to speak and you were on YouTube, bro. Listening to something or the other. Do you want to talk on that?
Yeah, sure. So
cool.
Harry Maguire is a absolute scumbag. He's gone through a period of having solid form for Harry Maguire, that is, which does still involve him most games making at least one glaring error that the opposition doesn't pounce upon. But what he did for that goal is what we saw again. We saw him do it for Sevilla. We saw him do it against Chelsea. Elijah mentioned it in his article. That's just fundamentally bad defending. I don't understand what goes through his head when he sees that ball and he doesn't pounce on it. And then obviously you're going to jump on DDG since you're here. What he did was very poor as well. But yeah, Maguire, I just can't look past that.
I think with those two, we have a problem in that Solskjaer is kind of doing what, to a lesser extent, what Arteta is doing, in that he's rewarding players in the defense who shouldn't be rewarded. Like at this point, for the amount of errors we've seen this season from Maguire, the errors that have led to goals, and the errors that we just talk about that obviously haven't led to goals, so they're not highlighted as much, as well as De Gea in the last few weeks or months or so. Like, we have Tuanzebe there. He's a good prospect. We should at least be willing to try him there. We have Henderson there, who we're paying about 200k a week as well. He needs to get to a point where these players can't keep being rewarded for the mistakes they're making. And if he continues to do that, it's going to cost him the job.
I want to comment on so at that point it's 3-0 with, I think they scored in the 69th minute. The comeback, do you think there was anything in that to suggest any type of to like infuse you for anything going forward. It's weird to say, but
what I would say, yeah, about this United side, and I know there are some reports that say that the senior players don't quite believe in what Ole is doing. But what I would say is, in the Mourinho era, yeah, when we went 1-0 down, that was it. Game done. And you knew as soon as the opposition scored, that was it. Game done. You can switch off the TV. What I can say with this Solskjaer era is that we do actually fight back. And more often than not, obviously, we've seen it with the string of away games. But more often than not, we're able to get ourselves back in the game and we don't actually give up. And I'll see much more Ferguson-like spirit from this Solskjaer version of United than I've seen from any of the previous managers since Fergie left. So I think the players, like, they're not getting started correctly, and the way we're setting up and starting matches is clearly something that needs to be pointed at Solskjaer. But when we do go behind, they've got some sort of galvanizing spirit. So
the YouTube comments seem to be telling me that they don't think there was anything in there. They think it was just a bit of spirit. And
no, there has to be something in there, because again, we've seen it multiple times this season. Again, for us, it's more so like I feel like we have the ability to create chances. Yeah, as bad as Bruno Fernandes is in regards to possession, he's got the ability to create something. Yeah, whether that's a goal, whether that's like some random assist after losing 10 balls, he's got the ability to create something. Pogba, again, we know how talented he is. If he's on a pitch, he has the ability to create something. We've also got players like Rashford, Greenwood, that both have the ability to create something. So I feel like it's more so the fact that we have good players on the pitch. Even though we're not coached well, we still have good players on the pitch, and we will then in turn create some chances. And again, as I said, we've seen that in multiple games. What's kind of done us, especially in the Leipzig game, because I switched off after a while because I was super tired, is the fact of not our two front men not taking the right decision at the right times. Like I was saying to Moran Discord, is Greenwood is an out and out number 9. Yeah, he just wants to shoot. He don't want to pass to nobody, which is a good thing. Like, but in certain cases, you know, where Rashford was in, he should pass. And then also Rashford, vice versa, Rashford is also guilty sometimes of poor decision making. You know, and for me, it in those cases, it kind of costs us. So yeah, as I said, I just feel like if we have quality on the pitch, we're always going to create chances, and that's why we had the comeback, and that's why we've came back against other teams. So I do think that there's something into it. I just feel like you need a coach, and then you wouldn't really need to start coming back from 3-0 or 2-0 or 1-0 or whatever it is.
I just want to comment on the Champions League group as a whole. We managed to finish third after beating the two teams we lost to. We beat them first 2 games. We just needed 2 more wins against Istanbul, Balaclava, and we managed to fuck it up. We managed to fuck up that game, the 2-1. In terms of the loss that angered you the most, which one did anger you the most? Because they were all pretty fucking annoying.
It has to be
Mariah, speak on it.
Yeah. It has to be the loss against Istanbul. They're an absolutely poor on like Leipzig and PSG have quality, and on their day they can beat you. On their day they can beat you. But Istanbul, I do not know how we contrived to concede the goals that we conceded against them, and then struggle to create chances for the whole second half. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. I can't get my head around how we've contrived to actually not go through from the position of having won the first 2 games, and even within the position of having lost the game against Istanbul, the game against PSG, that was poor game management. Martial missed some chances, but like we said on the pod after it, when I came onto the Discord, because I missed the first half, first thing Sebi said to me is, Ollie needs to take off Fred. because Fred is going to get sent off. And if he doesn't sub off Fred and he gets sent off, which he will, that's on Oli. Martial then proceeded to miss one really good chance. And for the second chance, which is a half chance, he didn't show the composure he usually shows. Not too long after that, Fred gets sent off because he's chasing his poor first touch. And again, the third goal against Leipzig was the killer. Like, I had the feeling the whole game, because we were creating chances throughout, that if we scored one goal, we would be able to get back into it. But once the third goal went in with, 20, 30 minutes left? Once the third goal went in with 20, 30 minutes left, it was just a little bit too much work for us to do. And even then, Konate almost contrived to give us the draw. And he's just very lucky that his keeper's feet were not a bit more open for the ball to go through them. So Istanbul game, definitely the most painful because they're such a poor side. But in all three of those games that we lost, we really screwed ourselves, man. Really.
Facts. All of the games we could have won. We literally could have beat all of these teams twice. Yeah. Like I don't think none of the games, other than the first 20 minutes or 35 minutes of Leipzig, any team outplayed us. Like, I don't feel like we was severely under pressure for all of the matches, even though going into this group, everybody's like, oh, we're going to get battered or whatever. I generally didn't feel like that any team outplayed us. It was literally us to go through, and it's just, we have to kind of look at our team, and the players have to look at themselves and just say, be really disappointed regardless of the teams that were through. And how do you highlight comments? Because the Sly Martial has blood in his hands is very elite. That's a comment that I'd love to highlight because it's very true.
I'm gonna hide it.
Yeah. I need to learn how to highlight these comments, man, because I need to get them out, man. But yeah, no, for real, man, because again, I need my centre forward. And Martial isn't my centre forward, is you man centre forward. But I need my centre forward to be, taking chances straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like, big important games, I need you to turn up. And for me, if Cavani was fit, I feel like we go through. We go through. If he plays against PSG, if he plays against Leipzig, I think we go through. Yeah, man. I just feel like it was really, really poor. But let me not talk on Martial too much because it's not a Martial slandering match, and I know he's probably going through things. I know he's looking for a different pair of gloves and stuff like that. So we move, man, we move.
I was just gonna
go on, Stevie.
Yeah, like I don't think we deeped it, and personally, I'm a Fred fan, so I'll back Fred. Yeah, but I feel like him getting sent off in that PSG game. Like, no one deeped it at the time, but the impact of him not being able to play in that Leipzig game, I think impacted us majorly. And like him or not, obviously he has his limitations, but in the Champions League, this guy, he balls out for us every time. And so I feel that sort of fine margin, that definitely lost us the PSG game, although we were already losing. But then going into Leipzig, it just made the uphill battle a bit more of a struggle, and having to field Matic in that game, I don't think worked as effectively as if we had the opportunity to play Fred.
I just thought of something, and in terms of like ranking it, out of the three, what is the worst thing? In fact, out of the four, so there's the bar goal in Istanbul, the Martial miss, the Fred red card, or the third goal versus Leipzig. Which one do you think is just the absolute worst thing? And that just
asking a hard question. Can you say those again? Can you say those again?
So there's the bar goal where he was onside and he was facing Matic in a foot race. There's the Martial miss versus PSG. There's the Fred red card, and the Fred red card includes Fred and Solskjaer, to be honest. Then there is the third goal versus Leipzig.
That's a tough.
For me, yeah, I'm saying the Fred red card because the Fred red card was avoidable. Like, obviously, every single situation was avoidable, but Fred red card was like, in Solskjaer's hands, as in physically. He could have physically affected that. Whatever happened, the bar goal is more on the players, because even if, for example, we're set up in a certain way for corners, one of the players must use their brain and say, "Yo, my man's free. Let's like kind of pattern up between ourselves and sort that situation out or whatever." The Fred red card, I was calling it from when he got a first yellow card. I'm like, "Yo, take this guy off, man. Take this guy off. He's gonna get sent off." They're not taking him off. That was so avoidable. Yeah, it blows my mind. Like I called it like 30 minutes, 20 minutes before he got sent off, because that's just the type of vibe he's on. He's like, people talk about that bozo gene. Fred ingrains the bozo gene. Like, Fred is dumb. He's really, really dumb. Like, he might have been in that set 4 or something. Like, Fred is stupid, isn't it? So that was super avoidable. And yeah, that's definitely on Ollie and Fred. So for me, I'd pick the Fred red card.
It's funny you said the bozo gene, because someone said earlier that Rashford has the bozo gene. But
yeah, I've been seeing that on Twitter. I just feel like people exaggerate, because the things that Rashford has done, it's impossible for him to have the bozo gene. Like, it doesn't make no sense.
Anyway, before we move on to the next comment, make sure to like the video and make sure to keep commenting and subscribe to the channel as well. That's enough pouring over the Leipzig game in Champions League. We're out of it now. We won't see it at least for another year.
Teach me how to highlight these things, man. How someone say Elijah has the bozo gene?
Fuck off, Rodney.
That is a mad one.
I hate him so much. But let's get on to the tactical masterclass of a game that we had on Saturday of the Manchester derby. Has there been a worse game you've seen in your 55 years of living, Stevie?
Bro, what are we doing? Mario is definitely in his 70s.
That's my shooter. Remember that? When I'm not on, you get it from Elijah for behavior.
Yeah. I see you got buddies, isn't it? Like, it's cool.
I say you're 55 years of existence. He was being nice. He was being nice, you know.
You lot are moving mad. It's mad because I didn't watch the game. I was working, to be honest, and I said, if I'm gonna be on the pod, I'm gonna have to watch this whole 90 minutes again. I came home. I was saying this on the other pod yesterday. I came home and I saw that on Match of the Day, the game was below the Newcastle game, and I said, any match, City United derby, that's below the Newcastle game. No, I'm not in my 30s, man. I'm 28, bro.
Why are you getting rattled, bro?
No, I need to verify, innit? I need to verify. I can't have lies on my name. But yeah, when I saw, it was past the Newcastle game, I knew that this game was an absolute dud. In the highlights, it was pathetic, man. So I can't really speak much on that game. I don't know if there's a huge amount to say other than the fact that we've scored 3 goals all season at Old Trafford, and 2 of them have been penalties, is pretty damn disgraceful. Like, there's not been a better time to play City, so I would have liked to see us play with a bit more enthusiasm and vigor. But I guess that was the nature of Ole's predicament. After losing to Leipzig, he probably just didn't want to lose another.
Sorry,
go on.
I just want to ask Mariah.
They are getting on to Mariah.
Are they? Go on.
Yeah, bro.
Look at the way he said, "Are they?" He's rattled.
I'm not rattled. They said Mariah's mustache. Okay.
Don't kill me.
I've got a mustache. All right, great. Anyway, go on, Elijah.
The formation that we played was a bit of a weird one. What did you make of it from Solskjaer?
It's interesting for me because last season, a lot of people wanted to give him credit because he negotiated the big games well and he just struggled in the smaller games. But this season, it's been quite interesting in the fact that we've been very poor in the bigger in the bigger league games. You've got your 0-0 with Chelsea, where we didn't really come out. You've got the 6-1 loss to Spurs, which can come down to individual errors, but the team kind of lost its head and the manager didn't kind of bring them back on track. You got the 1-0 loss at home to Arsenal, who have proven to be one of the worst sides in the league thus far. And then you've kind of got this boring 0-0 draw against Manchester City at home. How we set up is how I expected us to set up, to be honest with you. So Rashford, obviously, Pogba, who's had 3 solid games in a row at this point.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, he's had 3 solid games in a row at this point. It was just boring. Like, people have said City aren't as good as previous years, and you have to agree. The pressing is not as intense. The passing is not as purposeful. The attackers are not as dynamic. The defense is not as solid as it once was. So in that, this is probably the weakest City side we've faced in half a decade, and we didn't go out there with any purpose. Obviously, we have a game in hand, and everybody's talking about, if we could win our game in hand, we're right in the mixer. But he went out there, and his approach was very much do not lose. Do not lose. I've just come off a bad result against RB Leipzig, and I don't want to compound that with another loss against Manchester City. And I think on another day, we get punished for that, because that's the mentality I hate. I hate when teams come out with that mentality of not being the aggressor and trying to get a win, but being there just to contain and play it safe, because that reflects on the players. When I think about the performances, nobody really stood out. Bruno normally tends to have moments. When he did get into dangerous areas, he did a bit too much push it to the limit Bruno stuff. So yeah, he did a bit too much of the push it to the limit Bruno stuff. I think said we were watching on the Discord, and I think he got it in the half space, I think just outside the box. And he just kind of turned and shot. And it's like, this is the first time you've had any sort of time, and it was late in the game, you've had any sort of time and space in between the lines, and rather than taking your time and making a good decision, you decided to just shoot. It's what he does, isn't it? And obviously we allow it because he's so productive. But you guys know how I feel about Bruno. I've had to rest because he's getting results. But just know it's loading. It's loading, and I'm chilling because I've been told that it's sustainable. But it's a few games in a row now. He hasn't, we've needed Bruno to do a Bruno thing, and it hasn't quite happened. So I don't know, man. That was underwhelming. That was an underwhelming performance from us. A City team that was there for the taking. And then when you factor in the results that all our opponents had this weekend, it very much feels like 2 points dropped. 2 points dropped.
So you mentioned our big game record. Just veering away from the City game for a bit. That's 4 home games that we've had. We're gonna have 6 more big games essentially this season. There are 5 of them are gonna be away. So considering that, do you think that will play in our favor or not, considering that there might be fans back by the time we get back there as well? Sebi or Stevie. It's whoever.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because clearly at home we're struggling, and we've picked up so few points against the big sides at home. And I think when we're playing away from home, obviously with teams more likely to attack us, we're able to catch more goals on the counter. I know there's obviously not fans in the stadium, but maybe we're perhaps not feeling the pressure away from home as much. So judging on this season, it seems like the away games are going to work in our favor better. But by the time it comes to actually playing these teams, I don't know how many of them we've got earlier on in 2021. But if we've got like full crowds in those stadiums, those games are going to be tricky. And I think, as is typical of United, when it comes to crunch time and we need the team to perform, like they can often let us down. So I think we needed to have picked up more points in this stretch of top 6 games than we have. And it's going to be techie come the end of the season, because the top 4 race, the other teams are looking stronger than us at the minute. And it's going to come down to how many points we get against the other sides. And if we're playing a lot of them away, it's not looking promising, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not very optimistic about that situation, but we're still in the running somehow at this point. So who knows, man? Ollie might do the thing again.
I can tell you right now how many we have early. We've got Liverpool and Arsenal in January, and then we have Chelsea in February. We have Man City the game afterwards, and then we have Spurs in April, and then we have Liverpool at home in May, but that's not an away game. But yeah,
That's not
that's
bad,
all right.
bro. They've spread out our fixtures. They've niced us a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty spread
I
out.
mean, they've niced us a little bit. They're pretty spread out. For me, I just feel like again, it'd be silly to kind of predict what will happen with this team. This team's been up and down for the last 18 months, 2 years, or whatever. So for me, again, that's why sometimes I'm like filled with confidence because, hey, look, on our day we can go a 12 game unbeaten stretch, but we can also lose 12 games. So it's just it literally depends on what you're feeling because again we've seen Ollie's now 6 games with no loss. Yeah, and so what's that, like 5 wins and 1 draw, 4 wins and 1 draw for 5 games or whatever. And then we're going into a stretch where we're playing Sheffield United and then we're playing Leicester, Wolves, City in the cup and stuff like that. I feel like all of these teams and all of these games are there for the taking. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't look at our next 5-6 games and say, yeah, like I'm not confident. I feel like with the run we've been on, and other teams are going to need to rotate. I feel like we've got good squad depth, and I feel like we could maybe capitalize because when you look at you look at Sheffield United, yeah, all these fixtures are now congested. They're going to need to rotate. So because they're now at the bottom, do they play their full strength side against us, or do they rotate against us and then play the full strength side against the lesser team? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then so on and so forth. Every team's going to need to rotate during this Christmas period. And lucky for us, I feel like we have a lot of squad players. Whether the quality is up to the first team, that's another thing. But I feel like if we rotate and kind of combine enough, we'll be okay, man. And yeah, fully the league is trash. So I'm not shook of any team, and I feel like we'll be okay.
It's interesting the games we've got because I would say, if anything, the mid-table teams this season are the teams that have probably played the best football and have been the most difficult. And we've got Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, and Aston Villa, which is not the nicest, but if United are a decent team, they should be able to get at least 10 points from that. But who knows? But there's actually not
10.
Yeah, 10. If we're a decent team, that was the caveat I put in front of that.
You said what? Leeds, Wolves, Leicester, Villa.
Yeah. So
I think, you know what? I think any of the top teams, like even Liverpool, who are top, I think they'd struggle to get 10. I'm not gonna lie.
They got 9. They got 9. They've already faced.
That's what I'm saying. I can't see. I think 7 is probably where we're looking.
Maths, according to Stevie, there you didn't really quite address Elijah's point that they got 9. You just kind of skimmed over it.
No, but I said that 10 would be a good figure. I said I don't think Liverpool would even get that, and they didn't. So,
9 is handbags and glad rags, isn't it? Well, continue.
Yeah, what? Because you realised you didn't have a point to make.
No, I'm saying continue. I made my point.
No, I'd landed.
Continue.
You two just want to argue with each other. That's all this wants to become. But I'm not even sure what there is to say about the City game. I can't lie. I mean, there was a passage of play where McTominay and Wan-Bissaka were doing one-touch football, and that's probably the best football I've seen that United play from the back in years. But apart from that, bro, I'm not even sure what there is to say about that game.
But do you, man, on us falling into the Europa League, obviously we've got Pellistri, we've got Diallo coming in January. We got Laird there as well, who I think he might have shaken his injury troubles. Do you think that the Europa League is going to be a hindrance for us this season or beneficial for those younger players?
The younger players are gonna get a look in, man. That's what I'm saying. We have like some decent squad depth. Like I look at our 23s and I look at the players playing there. There's some ballers in there, man. And I definitely feel like he should get a chance. Look at Jesse Lingard. He's been in the gulag for time. Do you know what I mean? Lingard could get a look in. Matic could get a look in. Do you know what I mean? Matic can get a start. Bailey Tuanzebe. So I'm saying Brandon Williams, there's players there. Igalo, he's going in January. Give him a quick send off. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, give him a quick send off there. So yeah, I feel like we have enough players to kind of rotate. And again, worst comes to worst, if you get sticky, just concentrate on the league. Like, I feel like the next 6 weeks is going to go down to who utilizes their squad better, because the fixtures are so congested. It goes from 3 days rest to 2 days rest to 5 days rest to 4 days rest. Do you know what I mean? So it just depends on who utilizes their squad best. And when I look at our squad, I feel like we can rotate and swap in players in. Pelstry's in good. Perry Sauce, sorry, is in good. Pelly, he's in good vein of form for the 23s, and he's improving every single game. Ahmad's coming in January. If we make a couple of additions in Jan, which is it's kind of unlikely, I'll be confident.
We're linked to a centre back and a right winger, I saw today.
Yeah, we saw that as well. They're still not looking at a defensive midfielder. This club will be
bro, we can't fight the battles we can, man.
bro.
They're addressing something, man. Let's take that and run with it.
You know what? But
yeah, Medbury's a shout as well. I'd like to see him in Europe. But to be honest, Medbury and Tuanzebe, I'd like to see that combo in there. But we're not going to get them because you're is going to play every minute.
You're thinking about the wrong guy still. You're thinking about Menji, not Medbury.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about Mengi. My bad.
There we go. Fucking fraud. Let's go.
But, speaking of Europa League, we got you
know what? I don't even need to war him. I just leave him to dig his own grave, man.
Yeah, you know what? My head was hot when I made that mistake. I said he's on me.
You two are nasty.
Man.
The Europa League draw was today. We got Real Sociedad, so it's gonna be a homecoming for Januzaj. Can't wait to see my boy. I still love him. But what do you think about that draw? Because they're top of La Liga right now.
I don't want to speak again before I make another mistake.
The league is a paella league, bruv. That's a paella league. If we're not slapping up these teams, we should be slapping up Sociedad.
You look like
I'm trying to say
right now, just there with your bottle.
No, we should be slapping.
So what?
We should be, bruv. What Sociedad? Come on, bro. Now, what the fuck is a Sociedad? What's a Sociedad? Let me know. What does Sociedad even mean? Like, we should be slapping up these teams, relentless. Like, I don't respect La Liga. I literally do not. I don't respect none of these teams. I look at Barca. Them. You know what? Shall I tell you why I'm pissed that we got knocked out of the Champions League? Is because we didn't get to face Barca and avenge Fergie. In my head, I still remember Fergie's clenched fist, and I needed to avenge them this season. I'm pissed. We didn't get to avenge Fergie. But fam, when I look at La Liga, like, all jokes aside, I don't fear any team. Like, I don't fear any team at all, because Oli, again, he's capable of beating the best teams in the world, and he's capable of being beat by the worst teams in the world. So for me, when I look at Sociedad, top of the league, yeah, come and attack us, man. We got that 3-5-2 counter attack thing that we're on.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think we've kind of shown in the past that these ball-playing Spanish sides can be a bit of a problem for us. I'd be wary. They've got quality, haven't they? So we'll see what state. We're in.
Name me 3 of their players about they got quality.
No, Adnan Januzaj is one of their players.
Maybe 2 more.
They got Ayazabal as well, and David Silva, I swear, went there.
David Silva.
David Silva. Don't kill me, man. I said David Silva.
Striker that they've got Elijah, the young guy.
Ayazabal.
No,
winger.
in Spanish. I said a Swedish striker. Stevie.
Oh,
Stevie, please.
Isaac.
Right, your mic's not clear, man. Your mic's not clear, bro.
Please, going forward.
Isaac.
If you don't know what we're talking about, kindly refrain. Yeah, I said the Swedish striker. Or just said the only player you knew again. Well, that's
Yeah,
about.
you know what? I wanted them to know. I wanted the viewers to know. I got knowledge in depth.
Your redemption arc.
Someone saying David Silva will give McTom a bad day. McTom will press David Silva into a paella grave, bro. Man like David Silva is finished. He's old. He's 36 years old. He's getting done up,
man. This is football heritage, man.
Nah, man, it's getting done up.
So yeah, we'll see. They won't.
To be fair, getting knocked out is not the worst thing for us. If some people believe that we have a chance at the league. Some
You
meaning me.
believe that?
Some meaning me.
You're nasty. The way you try to disguise that is
That's what people believe we have a chance at the league. Okay, what I'll say, is that if again it comes down to the kind of the position we were in last season, if we think we can get top 4 in the league, then we prioritize the league. But it's always nice to have that contingency of the Europa League. I think it is more competitive this season, just looking at the names of the teams. So we'd have to exert some energy to do it. But I don't think we're good enough to turn our back on the Europa League and not have that contingency in case our league form doesn't do what it's supposed to do and we don't take care of business at home.
Yeah, I'm just looking through their team, and I can't lie, they're not good.
This is what you lot say though.
That's what you say.
They're not good. This guy's they'll come to the ground and they'll start popping, man.
That's fine, but we're not good either. But so I'm just saying it will be even. But, nah. I thought they were a much better team than this, but I think they lost Odegaard and so that I think that's a big miss for them. But then again, they got Silva to replace him. But
yeah, well, he was more dynamic.
Yeah, are we home or away first? We're gonna be away first, aren't we? Because we're seeded, right?
Come down for the Champions League, yeah.
No, because only 4 teams from the Champions League are seeded. The rest are unseeded. So the
really, are we seeded
follow Europa League rules?
Yeah, are we seeded because of how high we are in the pots or?
Yeah.
Right, so we got points like that, yeah. Okay.
But I believe because we still have the Europa League win from 2017.
Oof. That by the skin of our teeth, bro.
Yeah,
right.
But
we're not gonna win this competition either, though. So it's gonna be futile in the end.
Everybody in the competition is shit, though. Like,
nah, it's much better than last year.
why? Give me what? 2 teams. Name me 2 top teams.
From time Spurs are in there, it's a problem.
AC Milan, who are having a redemption arc in there.
Allow me.
No, you're not having them. All the teams that are top in the comments, all the teams that are top of their leagues are in Europa.
Fam, we seen our team smack PSG on a fair level. Like I don't fear these teams. I don't fear any of these teams. Like again, same way how we can get banged, same way how we can bang any other team. So that's it, man. It's just a vibes thing. It's a vibes off.
Man said the vibes off.
Hey man,
vibes off, man.
I hear it.
That's a Europa's a vibes off,
Yeah,
a whole European competition. Wow.
But before we get on some listeners' questions, before the Leipzig game, actually, there was some interesting comments from our favorite agent Mino Raiola. He basically said Pogba's going to be leaving. He insinuated that was going to be in January. Fast forward to today, a week later, seems to have kind of retraced his steps. Says that he was talking about the summer, that people in England are too sensitive whenever they see the name Pogba. And Pogba made some comments on Saturday on his Instagram where he said that to forget all the blah blah. If you remember, that was one of the things that was part of the whole promo to his whole signing at United to forget about all the blah blah and whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna skip this, Rodney. Fuck off. Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen with Pogba?
Who's actually signed in as touchline fracas and called me a fraud?
Come on, man. You know the vibes, man. Who else would it be, man? Nobody else has got the game.
With LeBron.
In terms of Pogba, I think they're really gonna look to try and get him a move. The figures that I'm seeing banded around are about 45 million, which is what I've always felt that we'd probably get for him. But for me, if we're gonna sell him at that price, we're better off trying to get him on a contract and keeping him. Like he's shown good form. We can talk. He's shown good form recently, but I'm not really in the business of getting rid of players for about 2/3 of what they're worth, especially when we know this team isn't necessarily going to go out there and bring back that required quality. We're not in a position to get rid of any players who have ability, personally speaking. Worst case is worse. We get him a new contract that increases his value. But while he's here, he's an asset. He's an asset to the team. I think they'll definitely try and get the move. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. I really don't know what they're on half the time, man. Genuinely, because even within the who's that who tried to do the thing and didn't know how to do it? Who was Stevie? Stop, man. Just stop.
That wasn't me. I have some class, bro.
Allow me, bro. Allow me.
Was that Elijah? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know where his head's at. Like, obviously, they say that he loves the club and that's great and stuff. But apparently, he didn't know that Mina was going to say the things that he said before he said them. And he's basically said, while I'm here, I'm going to give 100%. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, the story said that he didn't know who was going to say it, but when he saw it, he said, I don't really mind that it was said. But he came out and made it seem like he wants to stay and all
Hey, get this pussy away from my club, man. Get this pussy away from my club. I ain't got time. Get this pussy away from my club. He's a virus. Jose Dunn told us about this virus, man. He's a virus. He's a virus. The best thing he gave to United was the dab. And that interview thing with Stormzy, that announcement with Stormzy. Other than that, the guy's an absolute virus. Doesn't deserve our love. Doesn't deserve our respect. The guy. In fact, yeah, I even wanted to speak on this, yeah, because when the media, Timmy, you didn't come on today, so this is just for you, bro. Anyway, yeah, when the media was saying Pogba this and Pogba that, yeah, everybody ran to Pogba's rescue and said Pogba is a leader in the dressing room. Yeah, Pogba motivates the dressing room. He's one of the key leaders. So Mino comes out just before the RB game and says what he says. And I'm saying, how doesn't that have an effect on the team? If you're supposed to be the leader of the team, which everybody jumped to the rescue of Pogba to say he was the leader of the team, how doesn't that affect the team? If your leader of the team's agent is saying that he wants to leave and he's disrespecting the team, yeah? So that's on Pogba, yeah? That's on Pogba and that's on Mino, and he's disrespected the team for far too long. He's done this many times, and I feel like it's for us to kind of, you know, we don't need to show loyalty towards this guy. 45 million, 30 million, whatever it takes, let's get him out.
Yeah,
and let's look at some British players that want to play for the team. Let's look at some British players that want to play for the team and that respect the badge.
Right,
no, but hear this though. Hear this. The reason why I say that though, yeah, is because again, British players, the pinnacle of some British players
at the screen I've had
enough, man. I've had enough. The pinnacle of some British players is Man United, yeah. So Man United is what they've all dreamed about or whatever. Some foreign players, their pinnacle of them is fucking Real Madrid and it's Barcelona, yeah, or Juventus or whatever. Let them go. Let them go. Let's build the British core, like which is what Ollie said when he first come in. I'm on that, the British core, because that's where you see players that fight a little bit more for the badge. You don't get them stupid agents coming out and saying shit like just before the most important game of the season.
Sure.
So for me, it's time to go, man. It's time to go.
No.
It's
It's
time to
actually
go.
time to go, Mariah.
It's time to go.
He's taking the
It's
piss out of us.
time to
bro.
go.
He's able to take the piss out of the club
Pussy.
because we're shit.
No, but he
pussy.
can't be doing this.
Listen, he's able to take the piss out of the club because we are shit. Yeah. If we were good, Pogba would be very happy to spend a great deal of time here. But we aren't.
But then that doesn't mean we should sit down and lie down and take it. Fam,
it doesn't mean that. But let's give the comments some context. People in the comments saying, "Oh, he doesn't do that to his other clients, etc., etc., etc." Mino only speaks up for his clients when they need to get out. I remember him kicking up a fuss at Dortmund because Mkhitaryan wanted to come to Manchester United, kicking chairs, kicking tables. We are not patterned. He speaks shit about the club because we're in a position for him to speak shit about the club. We have a podcast for the last year. We've been speaking shit about the club. So how can you see a player? How can you see a player who wants to succeed, who's been successful for club and country before Manchester United, cares about the club, actually wants to see the club do well, and expect them just to sit there and be quiet about it? I don't know.
United was a stepping stone for Pogba. He always wanted to go elsewhere. He always wanted to go Madrid. He was always flirting with Madrid. Hence why, even after France, he was like, "Oh, this is the only place I feel happy." And then he posted that picture. You know, when Zidane done that touch here, he posted the same picture. He's trying to do those psychological games. But for me, I saw the same picture. I was like, all right, cool. You're trying to do the Zidane thing. You're flirting with Zidane. Cool, just go. He's always spoken about Madrid. He's always spoken about going to Madrid regardless. So even if we won the title, he would have went to Madrid.
No,
and also you say, wait,
one
1 second. You say, that we speak shit about Man United. We don't affect the dressing room, regardless of what we say. If Mino, for example, if Mino's talking, we're only human. The players are only human. They're going to be affected by the things that the agent's saying. So fair enough, we're shit. Fair enough, say whatever you want to say. Fair enough, you want to get your player outside of the club. But then you're actually affecting the morale of the team if you're supposed to be the leader. So are you the leader or not? Let me know. If you're the leader, then it's a mad thing. If you're not the leader, then let Graham Souness and them man pam you. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm on them as well.
Mino Raula's comments are not the reason why we didn't beat up RB Leipzig.
No, they're not. Morale is low.
They're not the reason why we didn't beat RB Leipzig. Pogba's performance on the pitch against RB Leipzig, he had a good game. He came off the bench and he impacted the game. And he scored a goal, and it was a deflection of his cross that almost went in to make it 3-3. So as far as he's concerned, he did everything that he needed to do on the pitch that day, based on the time that he was on the pitch, to put us in the position to succeed. So all this talk about this and that,
Souness was right.
Graham
Souness was right.
Ronaldo's dream was to go to Real Madrid, but he was
it was a virus.
He was able to. No, he wasn't. He was able to be here,
he was
successful, and he was able. Let me finish. He was able to be here and be successful, and then we were able to go and we were able to make good profit, and it was a world record transfer fee. There's no reason why Pogba's time at Manchester United could not have been successful, and we couldn't have also seen him go to Real Madrid at the same time. Like, listen, man, there's like we say every week on this podcast, there's problems from head to toe when it comes to Manchester United, and Paul Pogba's just one of them.
It's time to go.
Yo.
No, nobody cares what you got to say. Fuck off.
Hey, don't be upset, fam. I'm in the building real quick. I just wanted to say one thing, Seb. You talking about Mino's comments and how they come at the wrong time and it drained the morale of the club and whatnot. But let me ask you a question. If you're a United player yourself and you hear those comments from Mino, do you not look at yourself and think, this guy and his agent's taking the piss? Let's prove that we don't need him by going out and performing well.
Because if we're playing shit,
we're playing shit when he comes on.
No, but if we're playing shit, and the morale of the club is already low, to compound on the way that we're already feeling, Mino's comments has already compounded on the way we're feeling.
How was morale low?
Because we're not in a good
We won our
position.
last 4 league games coming from
But
behind, no?
we're still not in a good position. Everybody's shaky. We needed to get a result from this game. And again, like with elite sport, the smallest things can affect the way how you think. Same way how boxers, or if you play tennis or whatever you're going through, sometimes, for example, if you lose a boxing match or whatever, people are like, oh, what was going on outside the ring? Elite sportsmen, they are affected by things, yeah. So the things that people say, where they say, oh, how can it affect? No, they're not robots. They're affected by things. So if the leader of the dressing room wants to leave, and the leader of the dressing room, his mouthpiece is bad mouth in the club, you can't help but think about that. That's definitely affected. You're supposed to be 100% on the game. The preparation is supposed to be 100% of the game. So again, as I said, Mino affected that result, and it's on Mino and Pogba when we're outside of the Champions League.
Sebi, that's rubbish, man.
Okay, it's time to go.
Sebi, that's rubbish, man.
It's time to go.
I want to say a quick thing. If you remember, Rooney asked to leave in 2010, and he released a statement an hour before a Champions League game, which he won. But after the game, Vidic said when he is going around talking about bad playing or something happening around the club, it is not good for the players, not good for the team. It has happened before, because players will always negotiate with the club about their contract. And there's been so much talking in the papers. We are just trying to train and not speak too much. Evra also said, if one player in the team doesn't trust the others, he should not play in the team. Me, I'm not in that point. I trust everyone, and I know we can win.
I remember that. See, and
So,
again, that's elite sportsman.
So
Go on.
So those were 2 big players, and they weren't happy with the fact that Rooney came out with a statement just before the game, saying that United weren't ambitious, complaining about the Glazers, complaining about the signing. So Sebi might have a point there about it affecting us, but
Bro, I don't see that as him having a point.
Two big players who'd actually won stuff and been successful at Manchester United got a dressing room full of bums.
You know what
Sorry,
I mean? Bro,
I'm looking around. Who in that dressing room can chat to a player of Paul Pogba's
Yeah, but
standard?
then that's why it's such a problem. Though.
Same level.
Like, that's why it's such a problem.
I'm not
Mariah,
being funny.
you and Timmy were asking Pogba, to be captain of our side for this season. Yeah,
I've never said that.
I'm not.
see, now he's lying.
You want to lie on my
I
name?
said
Oh
that.
my God!
I said
I'm
that.
gonna bring
Mariah
receipts.
didn't say that.
I'm gonna
I
bring
said that.
receipts.
Mariah didn't say that.
I'm
Don't
gonna
lie.
bring receipts.
Don't lie. Do not
There
lie.
you go, man. Just
So
chatting
when I
shit
said
again,
Bruno
man.
would be captain,
As
who did
per
you say should be captain?
Stevie, get out of here, man.
Who
I
did you say should be captain?
I did not say Pogba. I promise you that.
He definitely
Yeah, who
didn't
did
say
you say?
Pogba, because me and him argued about it.
I'm gonna bring receipts. I'm actually gonna bring receipts.
And receipts to where?
What? To the Twitter.
Why are you bringing the
To the
receipts?
Twitter.
Hey, hold
They're
on.
saying you lost this one, Stevie.
You're holding a pamming today,
They're
fam.
saying-
Nah, I'm bringing it to the Twitter. Anyway, my point is, certain man wanted him to be the captain of our club. You lot are saying that this guy's got bare influence at our club. You can't have him continuously. This guy's been at our club for 4 seasons, continuously being. He's probably the sole promoter of negative news stories coming out of our club. Like, it's not good. Yeah, I don't think that it's the reason we lost against Leipzig, but it's definitely having a detrimental impact on our club. How come every day we be talking about Paul Pogba, and you lot are going on as if this news story is nothing? Like, that's unacceptable from a guy who's a World Cup winner. That's not the example you should be setting for the younger players at the club.
Fam, first of all, I didn't say that it was acceptable. I was speaking in regards to Sebi saying that it's him and Mino's fault that we didn't beat Leipzig. You're now speaking generally. If we're speaking generally, of course it's unacceptable. But you cannot look at Mino's comments that he's been making for the past 3 years, by the way. And then say, because we lost this one time, it's his fault. Go and look at all the other comments that he said 3 days before a game, or 2 days before a game, or the day before a game. Check the results there. Do you know what I mean? All I'm saying is, when you play for Man United, you play for a club as big as Man United, and you've got a guy and his agent acting out, the onus is on you to say, all right, cool, we don't fucking need you. We'll show you we don't need you. Don't play. I would feel like a bum. I'd honestly feel like such a bum letting Pogba and Mino do what they're doing and just be like, oh, my morale's low because Paul don't want to be here no more. As if he's your dad or something. You're grown men, fam. You play for Manchester United, fam. The biggest club in the world. You play for Manchester United, and you're gonna let what Mino Raiola has to say affect you in a must-win game. Louder. So what's happening? We've gone 3-0 down, and they're like, oh man, fuck, Pogba might be going, man. Pogba's not here no more. Why did Mino say what he said? Bullshit, bro. Because let's be real, the way that we performed, it's no different to how we've been performing all season. Really and truly. It's no different.
No, it wasn't, Bob. We was on a winning streak.
Hold on, bro.
We was on a winning streak.
Bro, hold on. It's no different to how we've been performing all season. So why now are you putting that on Mino Raiola, bro? Because again, he affected preparation. You're not surprised.
He affected preparation.
Okay, but how is it affected preparation when it's the same way we've performed all season?
Because
even in games we've won.
Pogba got dropped out of the squad, which they're trying to cover last minute.
On top of that, bro, Pogba's hardly played this season. He played like 50%
he got dropped out of the squad last minute.
Come on, man. And on top of that, said man comes on and outperforms everybody in the team. For the half an hour that he's on the pitch.
That's good for him. He's really talented. That's great. That's great. That's great. But there's no way you can say. There's no way you can say. There's no way you can say that comments don't affect the team.
Because these men are bums, bruv.
That's good. Get him out of the team. I want this guy out of the team.
All right.
Get him out of the team. Get him out of the team. He's rubbish. Get him out of the team. He's rubbish.
Things won't change, you know.
I don't care. Get him out of the team. I want him out of the team. Get him out of the team, please.
Joke to
get him out of the team. Get COVID Pogba out the team. Get him out my blood clot team.
All right.
Get him out my team.
We're gonna move on to some.
It's time to go.
We're gonna move on to some listeners' questions now.
It's time to go.
Anyone,
it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Anyone in the comments, drop your listeners' questions. I'll try.
Shout out McTominay for displacing Pogba under 2-3 managers.
This is nasty.
You know what I mean?
Get that guy out my team, man.
Mute him.
All right.
Get my team.
Mute him. He's definitely drunk.
Get my team.
Hey,
I don't get drunk. Get him on my team.
Number 5, fam.
Get him on my team.
Get out of here, blood.
Pussy, man. Get him on my team. Hey, come off the fucking podcast as well, man. You bumper clock. Go fair, man.
Hey, who's the moderator? It's not you, is it?
I'm staying fair, man, as well, man.
All right. First listener's question is, how would you line up against Sheffield United?
Definitely without Pogba.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The ramblings of a madman. Well, Sheffield United have been the worst team in the league. And they were also a team that we dispatched off pretty handily when we came back from lockdown. And I probably wouldn't go with anything too dissimilar to the lineup we had when we beat them then. I think they're a good team for Martial to play against and potentially grab a goal or two. So I would go with DDG in goal, Wan-Bissaka because we don't have anything better, Lindelof and Maguire. Luke Shaw at left back, by the way. Hey, Alex Telles, in case anyone was wondering. A Pogba and Matic double pivot. Bruno ahead of them, and then you got Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial as your forwards. And yeah, just put them to the sword. To be honest with you, but before Alex Telles, talk about him quickly, please.
Bro, I think you lot aren't giving the guy enough time.
Fucking hell, you shit, man.
Hey, fam. Like,
do you know what?
Bro, we need to give man some time, bro.
Do you know what?
I'm not impressed.
He's not going to get quicker, though.
But he needs some time.
He's not going to get quicker.
I just realized the other day he did get COVID, so I might drop him a bit of slack now. But my goodness, that guy he's
off the pace, man.
Does anyone watched him before he came to us? And does he look noticeably different?
When you're playing Portugal,
one man I know hyped him to the high heavens.
Hey, I know that man. I know that man.
I've never seen him.
I agree in it. I agree.
Abs, you see Abs? Listen.
You see Abs?
Snippet this so we can hear it as well. You see Abs? He hyped Tellez hard. So I'm gonna give him some more time, man. He needs at least like 6 months. New league, new flipping, new managers, everything like that. He just needs a little bit of time, I would say,
I
man.
don't like his attributes. I don't like his attributes. He's too slow. Like I said, he gives me Marcos Alonso vibes, man.
It's just early days, man. I think he needs a bit of time.
Attackers you're up against are small, quick, and agile, explosive. He can't compete with them physically. They talk about how good he is technically and going forward. Doesn't like, he's got a nice whip on him. Decent, solid technically, but again, I don't see him as a specialist in that regard. I just don't really see it. But like you say, yeah, he's had COVID. Let's give him time. But what does the best tellers even look like?
Porto don't make mistakes. Like, they sell their players for big money. This guy was playing in Turkey a couple years ago. He's at Porto, late 20s. No one else has gone in for him, and they've let him go for under 15 million. There's a reason, man. I'm telling you.
FM don't get it wrong that much, you know, bro. And on FM, this guy's a killer, bro. They don't get it wrong that much,
that
bro.
Is a nasty cosign. That's a nasty cosign.
He just needs a bit of time, man. Let's just
I can't lie. That FM cosign is
bro.
a thing still.
It's a strong one.
Any ball I've ever received from FM ain't let me down. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I can't lie. I signed Crane Vitter on FM.
Bro, you need the editor in that, fam. You need to see the potential ability and all that, and all that.
You know what?
Come on, bruv. Cranvitter, bruv. It was probably like a 170 or something.
I forgot about that still, but
you know what I mean? That's not well beater.
But let's go into the next one by Wade Wills. Oh, so that question was from Arnold, by the way, with 2 Ds. Pause. This question's from Wade Wills. Will Ahmad come in Jan make any impact?
Yeah, I like him. He's good. I think he's set up for the Prem. Do you know what I mean? I think he's got good agility, can take players on. And to be fair, like when I look at, for example, say somebody like Greenwood and a small impact he's had, obviously I think Ahmad could come in and especially 1v1, I think you can make an impact. Obviously wouldn't score as many goals, but just those tight spaces within the box, I feel like he'll be key. And also linking up with whoever's playing as a striker, I think he'll be key, because just from the clips I've seen, he looks really sick.
Cool.
He may need a bit. I don't know. Obviously, Atalanta are using him a bit more, giving him cameo minutes. He comes highly recommended, highly rated, and I guess the idea is that if he does go on to do big things, they want to be able to have said, like, he wet his feet here. Listen, we're crying out for more quality on the right hand side of our attack. So why not, man? Why not? He's agile, he's technical, he's quick. From what I've seen, he's got an eye for the back of the net, and he's a danger in the final third. So yeah, bring him in, man. It's not like we're rolling in quality. Daniel James has been firmly relegated to not making any appearances for us against a team that plays in the Premier League, or probably the upper third of the Championship. So we do need extra quality in the team. So yeah, bring him in, man.
I reckon Ahmad's I think he's gonna need a pre-season. I don't think Ollie's just gonna bring him in and just bring him into match day squads so quickly. I think he might get minutes in Europa and that, now that we're in that. But other than that, I don't see him making like serious appearances before the start of next season. I reckon once he gets a pre-season under his belt, a proper pre-season, then we'll move from there for the start of next season. I think he's literally coming in January to get integrated properly. And once he's fully integrated, we'll move forward 21-22 season.
Yeah, so the reason it's coming in Jan is because of the whole Brexit thing, and we weren't able to sort out his work permit in the summer. So we gave ourselves about 3 months to get the work permit sorted before January. Otherwise, we would have tried to sign him in the summer. But he wasn't even supposed to come to United. He was supposed to go on loan to Parma, and then we stole in the last minute. So pretty good biz for us. But one of the YouTube comments, there's a question here from Michael Docker. Yeah, that's how you say it. Dahi. You lot seen Hannibal's under-23 comp, and when do you see him making a first team debut?
Hannibal's what, 16, 17?
I think he's.
I think he's got. Yeah, I think see, the thing is, yeah. This season is super, super weird, isn't it? So I can't even calibrate when you know the Carling Cup and all those early games. I don't even know what's popping with all of those things. But I see him definitely getting some cameo or starting, like if we had like a League Two team in one of those cups. But again, I'm not too sure what's going on there. Other than that, I feel like next season, I feel like he'll get some good minutes. I heard Solskjaer will have like a year left on his contract at the end of the season. So that would be good time for him for somebody to come in, a manager that, loves young players and kind of blood Hannibal in, because again, like he's clearly talented, but even when I watch him for the under 23s, there are some things that he's clearly lacking. So he needs a coach to kind of polish him up there, polish him up there. Yeah, I think he'll be okay, man.
So he's 17. He's going to turn 18 on the 21st of January.
Yeah.
Sick.
He's
a big
he's
boy.
good, man. He's sick, man. He reminds me slightly of Grealish, the way that he glides with the ball and how he can draw fouls and that. I saw the comp that this brother's on about. I saw it this morning, and literally it's 2 minutes of him just getting fouled, just dribbling past his man and getting fouled, or taking on his man and getting fouled. And while it didn't show his like technical quality, which he's got in abundance, I like what I'm seeing from him, man. I don't think he's gonna come in this season. I just don't think that the way that our games are really set out will allow it. I think third round FA Cup probably would have been the best time that he could have come and got a game, but obviously we've got Watford, which is semi-difficult for us. So hopefully pre-season he'll get a lot of games, and then with a view to coming in as a little rotation option next season. I keep saying as soon as Pogba goes, just promote the guy, because I think he's going to be sick, man.
Cool. I've got another question from Koin. He says, do you think the manager that comes in after Solskjaer will be in a better or worse position to succeed than when Solskjaer came in after Mourinho was sacked?
Better. So one thing Solskjaer's done well, he's gotten rid of Deadwood, and Solskjaer does actually, all credit to him, he has a good eye for a player. I think that if they actually backed him more, the overall quality in the squad will improve. And I think the replacement will be coming, if we keep Pogba, that is, the replacement will be coming to a much better team than the one that Solskjaer inherited. You've got a better Pogba. You've got Pogba. Sorry, you've got a better Rashford. You've got Greenwood, who's emerged. You've got Martial. You've got fresh. You've got Henderson about. You've got Tuanzebe. Yeah, I think he'll be in a better position than the team that Jose left.
A question to you lot, yeah. If we were to get Poch in before the end of the season, one, do you think Pogba would stay? And then two, would you want him to stay?
Double no.
I think at this point, the issue with Manchester United is beyond just the coach. It's like we've said on this pod multiple times, it's rotten from top to bottom. Does Poch get more out of these players? Yes. But I think this next stage of Pogba's career, he's going to be 28 in March. This is legacy. This is legacy defining. He's got the attributes, the skill set, the reputation of a player who should retire as a midfield great. Up until now, he hasn't really got that CV. Do you want to race another couple of years at Manchester United trying to see if that can happen? Or do you go somewhere else where you can have a easier job and you can secure that? Because, like I say, we've seen the trend of good players coming to Manchester United, struggling and going elsewhere and doing well. Like if he was to go, for example, to a Real Madrid, they're going to put him in a position for him to succeed. They're going to put him around players who will allow Pogba to do the things that he does well and flourish. If he was to go to Italy, again, they'll put him in a position that allows him to do the things he does well and flourish. So I think Poch comes in great. that means that we've got Van der Beek as well, who I think was always kind of signed with one eye on if we don't keep Pogba, we've got a ready-made replacement in there. But yeah, Poch comes in and I think Pogba goes is probably what happens anyway.
All right, last question before we wrap it up.
Right, what? Let's see, bare questions. Last question, yeah?
No, because the questions have pretty much been answered.
Elijah, you're the host, man. Don't worry.
I'm just saying,
you're the host.
We've pretty much been answered still.
Elijah, boy. All right.
Wait, we've been going for an hour and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, don't let man pressure you, man. Don't let man pressure you.
No pressure, man. Elijah's my ear. No pressure to all of
So the question on the screen: why isn't Van der Beek getting game time from Coyote?
We know why. He's a club signing, not an Ollie signing. So yeah, he's a club signing, not an Ollie signing. I think when Ollie tries to set up the midfield,
Hasn't he played like half our games or what?
But if you're talking about minutes, probably he's got probably the least minutes of all our midfielders. Maybe a bit more than Matic, but yeah, he hasn't played enough relative to how good he's been for us. Yeah, like I said, he was a club signing, not an Ollie signing. I think Ollie prefers McTominay and Matic because of their ability to get around the pitch, their athleticism, and how well they protect the defense. Obviously, you're going to prefer Bruno because of his productivity, his ability to lead the team forward. Pogba's just a better baller. Thing about it is, I think when you even watch Pogba, it's funny because of how good he is, we hold him to a standard. But even when these guys come in for him and they play well, this doesn't apply to Van der Beek. This is just me thinking about the midfield as a whole. Even when these guys come in and they play well, how often is that good performance by them better than the performance that we'd call average from Pogba? I'm not sure it is most of the time, but because the expectations that we have of these players are less than the expectations that we have of Pogba, we wax lyrical about these performances. Van der Beek just has to wait. I don't think Pogba. I think we should keep him, but I don't think Pogba's going to stay. From next season, you'll be starting in that midfield because McTominay, Fred, and Van der Beek just is not enough quality to break teams down. You see what he brings when he comes to the team. He brings technical security. He brings good decision making. He brings quality on the ball. And there's only so long that Ollie can ignore that for the likes of McTominay and Fred when we're starving.
So, Mariah, you're correct. He's played 9 minutes more than Matic has this season, which is
that's how you do it, Stevie. Yeah.
Touche.
Oh, well, guys, that was the last of the question. Thank you for coming to the live stream. I actually really enjoyed it, especially with all these comments.
There's so many questions, man. Guys, can you at the account tomorrow when we post the pod? Can you at the account throughout the day and we'll respond to your questions?
Yeah, that'll be better because I don't want to be.
Stevie always gets scored, man. You should see the group chat.
Allow it.
Stevie be getting scored on a regular. Don't ever come for my host.
Mariah, you have
highlight
this
these
one
things,
like
bro.
again. Mariah, I'm graceful. I'm graceful. Though. You had this one.
I love you, brother.
But yeah, you know what to find us. This will be out tomorrow on the podcast. Obviously, the video you already see will be out tomorrow as well. Make sure you subscribe and like.
I'll be out tomorrow, yeah. And you know Wednesday, yeah. I'll be out Wednesday.
Hey, man, just for a bit of pressure, bro. You know me. Yeah, the YouTube channel, subscribe, like. Thank you for commenting and following the podcast. And make sure when you comment tomorrow on Twitter, make sure you use the hashtag #TouchlineFracker. Keep the conversation going. And yeah, we out.
I'm
Peace.
dead.
On